Hey kids, Dad here in the barn at Bravo Zulu on the cardio bike. It's a rainy Monday, April 27th, 2026. It's about 12:35 in the afternoon. So, because I'm being a little chicken, don't want to get all muddy on these dirt roads, I'm just doing the bike in the barn. I'll do 30 to 60 minutes of cardio, somewhere in there, see how we feel. But I want to talk to you about something from this weekend. Might have been, I don't know, I might have referenced it a little bit yesterday. I don't know if I did or not. To be honest, I don't really look at these videos before I just post them, share them with you. I don't even share all of them with you. Some I leave my phone because I don't know, for whatever reason, it's just a bunch of nonsense. But this one, my weekend, my Sunday yesterday, I had a conversation with a guy, and I think the message to this video is that I hope you kids trust and know in your hearts that you can talk to your dad about anything. So here's an example of that. I had a guy yesterday, I talked to him on the phone for, I don't know, half hour, something like that. And he was an Air Force guy. He called in bomb strikes. He was on the ground, up close with the bad guys, pinpointing where to drop bombs. Close air support. I think I mentioned it yesterday. It's called a JTAC. So, in any event, he was one of his challenges he has is isolation. He doesn't like to talk to people about things. Because in his experience, he'll talk to somebody at the VA or a therapist or a spiritual coach or whoever, and they'll ask him what's eating him up, what's tearing him up inside. And he says it's what he did in the military. That he knows that he killed innocent people. And he dropped bombs, 500-pound bombs on innocent people. And they say, yeah, it was war. You did what you had to do. You followed your orders, you did what you had to do. It's messy, it's war. And he says, no. You, beep, aren't listening to me. I'm telling you, I did it for fun. It was fun. And I did it on purpose. And I did it when I didn't have to do it. And I know that I killed innocent people doing it. And for me at the time, it was fun. So that's his frustration, because nobody wants to hear that. Nobody at the VA wants to hear that. But what this kid's talking about is pretty serious stuff. It's been killing him inside for the last 10, 15 years. And as he's sharing that with me, I'm just listening, right? Because I never had an experience like that. If you look back to Veterans Day, whatever, I think there's probably a video about what your dad did in the military. I got to do some cool stuff. Never called in bombs on people. Never fired my weapon. Never shot somebody. I was helping out guys who did that kind of work. So in any event, this guy came to me for whatever reason and was telling me this. And all I could do was listen. And he was wrestling with the fact that he believes that he's an evil person, that he's an evil human being. And he's stuck on that feeling that he's an evil human being. And evil people like him don't deserve to live. And all I could think to say, and I believe this in my heart, is that evil people, truly evil people, they don't feel guilty about doing something like that. They don't regret it. It doesn't keep them up at night. It doesn't haunt their dreams. Evil people do things like that, and they don't think twice about it. Well, this friend of mine, it's been haunting him for 10, 15 years. It's the reason that his life has fallen apart. It's the reason that he's at times been suicidal. And from there, I listened a good bit. I let him share his feelings. I was so proud of him for having the courage to share that with somebody. Because he told me before, his problem is isolation. He doesn't talk to anybody. He shuts down, stays in his room, doesn't talk much at all. So I was so grateful and proud. First, I was proud of him for having the courage to tell that to somebody, to another human being. Then I was grateful, deeply grateful, that he would share that with me. Because there's nothing I could say in that moment to make things better for him. There's nothing I can say to change that or fix that for him. But what I could do is let him get that out and let him hear, you know what? I hear you, I understand you. But guess what? I still love you. There's not a damn thing you can do about that. And it's true. I do still love him. And we ended up talking a little more, and I asked him, this is serious stuff that's haunting you here. This is going to burn you up. This is going to kill you eventually, one way or another. And he understands that, which is why he's been trying to get help for it. And frustrated, like I said, everyone says, "Oh, you're a hero. You did what you had to do," because they're not actually listening to what he's saying. He's saying, "I was a war criminal. I did illegal things. I killed people for fun that I didn't have to kill. And I chose to. Nobody ordered me to." He was the one making that decision, saying, drop a bomb right here. And it blew up a bunch of innocent people who were just camping or whatever. So I talked to him about, so what do we do? Where do we go from here? I asked him, I said, do you believe in God? He said, yeah, he's Christian, non-denominational. And I said, well, would you be open to talking with a spiritual coach? And he said, yeah, I've done that before, but they like to talk, they don't like to listen. And when they do listen, they don't hear me. And I said, well, all right, buddy. Let me make some phone calls. I'm going to get back to you. So, and this is the way God works in the universe that I've been experiencing this past year at Bravo Zulu House is, I happen to know a chaplain, a really, really good one. He was a colonel in the Army, and he was in Vietnam when he was a young officer. As a chaplain in Vietnam, you get to work with a lot of guys who did a lot of bad things. Vietnam War, there's a lot of things Americans did that are called atrocities or war crimes. Talking about bombing innocent villages, burning people, using blowtorches to innocent people, killing for fun. There's all sorts of reasons. I won't get into why that happens, why human beings do that kind of thing in war. But it happens. Even good people do those kinds of things. And so connected with this chaplain. He's a guy I met out in South Carolina when I was just out there for that wedding. So I'm going to connect with him this week. Got a message out to him. I'm just going to ask him if he knows anybody, any old retired chaplains, anybody he'd recommend to talk to a kid like this who's being haunted by these demons of his past right now. My guess is that chaplain has some ideas. So that's just been on my mind, on my heart. Prayed for this kid last night. I'm going to pray for him again this morning. Maybe at some point he'll pray for himself, I don't know. But definitely grateful for a chance to be able to be present for somebody like that with something that they probably haven't told, well, they've tried to tell people, but that nobody's ever listened to and heard them. And I hope and pray that you kids know your dad's heart well enough and can trust your dad that you can bring him anything. And your dad's not going to get mad and yell. He's not going to punish you. He's not going to tell you how bad you did. Because if you're bringing it to me, my guess is you probably already know it may be something not good. And I promise you kids, I will listen. I will listen. I may ask some questions to better understand. And one of those questions will probably be, what can I do to help? And from there, it's up to you. Maybe you say you don't want any help. You just want to tell somebody, tell another human being. That can be incredibly, incredibly helpful for your own healing process to think out loud about these things. Maybe it could be, Dad, I need $500 to repair this issue. Might be, Dad, do you know anybody who can help with this? All those kinds of things. I don't know. We'll take it from there, depending on the situation. But I want you kids to know the kind of situations that your dad's been able to be present for, listen to, and maybe be a little bit helpful in the way that I provide that help. It's not telling you what to do, how to do it. It's by listening, asking questions to better understand, and then looking at you and asking you, what can I do to help? It's your decision. So for this kid I got to work with this weekend, this friend of mine, he said he would like some help in finding a good spiritual advisor, good spiritual coach to talk to about these things. And that's exactly what I'm working on. So love you kids so much. I'm gonna finish my workout, finish my work day, be thinking of you the whole time. Love you guys, kids. We'll talk soon.